Hey guys, another deal day where each week we look at a new property and a new market to determine if it makes sense as an investment property. This helps us build repetition, discover new markets, and become better investors. This week is a cool one because we are going all the way to Motown or Motor City, whatever you want to call it. But that is Detroit, Michigan, if you're not familiar with that name. The address that we're going to look at is 5262 Dickerson Street, Detroit, Michigan, 48213. The reason I kind of like this market is it's very similar to a Baltimore market, Baltimore City, Maryland, with a lot of distressed properties, a little bit different style, but very similar situation. A city that just fell on bad luck, unemployment, job growth kind of dried up back in the day, so it was hit hardest during the recessions. So we always like to look at the overall market first to make sure it's investable because we don't want to invest in a bad overall economic market. So first we look at population in Detroit, Michigan. Population is 3.5 million people with a growth rate of whopping 0. But that's better than negative, so we'll take it. Job growth is at 1.9%. That's less than national average, but it is job growth. Unemployment, this one's a doozy. I haven't seen this high. 7.8%. It's trending downish, but it is 7.8%. That would always worry me. It looks like it's been high for a long time. So as long as it's stabilized out, I mean, I guess I'd be okay with it, but it is super high. Average household income is $49,515. So super low average household income. And medium sales price of properties, $85,000. So this is the lowest market I think to date I've done. Overall, I'm gonna give it ho-hum, not the worst I've seen, but definitely some big things, big red flags to look out for. Next, we go over to the Google Street View test. You can see here the properties close by. There's some disheveled ones in disrepair. There's ones with ivy growing all over it. There's ones with it looks like some sort of awning that's fallen down. But overall, the street looks pretty good. And if you look across the street, it has a really gorgeous park that looks really nice. So I'm going to give this one a pass on the Google Street View test. Again, I'd caution in Detroit that you want to have some very local, trusted team members there to invest in this market. So you'd want somebody to say, yep, I'm really good with this street. There's not a lot of drugs going on. There's not really super high crime rates. That's what you'd want to hear from your team. Moving on to the listing, the property I selected is listed at $95,000. And I'd like to call it charmy because of the exterior. I've noticed that this is a very common exterior for a single family house in Detroit. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, single family, 1,600 square feet. My suggested rehab budget on this is somewhere in between a light medium rehab. It's definitely not a heavy rehab, but I'm going to put it somewhere around $35,000 or right around $20 a square foot. My suggestions are replace all the windows. For sure, you can see it in the pictures. They are probably original. All new floors throughout. Finish the bathrooms with some nice 12 by 24 tile. Make a nice kitchen in there with granite countertops, stainless steel appliances. Cap the exterior trim so you don't have to paint it. You can see that it's kind of flaking off. In the comments, it looks like they said that the electrical was done and the roof was redone. So you don't have to worry about those, which is nice. You just need to get this puppy to the finish line. So nothing too crazy in there. Zillow states rents are around $1,450. I think we could probably get somewhere around $1,500 just with some nicer renovations and the proximity to the park. And this one it has decent size at 1,600 square feet. Comps are all over the place. I'm definitely not a specialist in Detroit, but when you have super low comps, kind of all over the place, low sales prices, it's hard for me to determine what this one should actually sell for. So if it was me, I'd just be super, super conservative. Zillow states that the comps are 89,000. I mean, I think this one renovated, it could probably be somewhere around 120, 130,000. But again, I'm not super familiar with the market. Taxes are showing up at 1,164, which is really low. Moving on to the analyzer. When I look at the analyzer, cash flow for cash on cash return is 9.34% if you purchase the property in all cash, and it's 12.27% if you levered it. So those overall are actually pretty good numbers with what we got. And if you look over at appreciation, just with the low appreciation, you're at 16%. So overall, that's a good property. If you renovate it and you know it's going to be nice for a long time, I mean, I'm good with those numbers. I think it's a good long-term rental. In this market, I'd actually go with a Section 8 strategy. That would give you guaranteed rent. It would protect you from move-outs. And that's the strategy I would just go with. So that's what comes to mind. So I'll share it. I would probably shoot an offer of 80,000 since the market is just so depressed over there. Interest rates are high right now. And if you did an $80,000 offer, that brings your cash on cash return up to 10.56. And it brings your levered return up to 17%. So those are really good. So overall on the market, I'm just going to give it a schmedium and say, be careful. And for the property, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I like those numbers. I think you can make them work. I think you can invest in there and I think you can make some money. Thanks for watching this video all the way to the end. If you find this content valuable, you like these deal day videos, you want to see more markets, comment below. Let me know what market you want me to analyze. And guys, I'll see you next week on another deal day video.